Hi there everyone, time for another video. Revopoint has released the new Revo Scan version 4.0.1 and I just thought I'd show it off a little bit. I said the same thing I say every time, probably a dozen or more times now in the last 8 or 10 months. Boy, this stuff just gets better and better and better. I've said that with every release. They continue to make such progress in just refining this thing so well. The app is just coming along so nicely. There's some new features added, a lot of automatic things that I really like. In fact, I processed this scan with Revo Scan and did everything within it and used mostly the automatic settings or recommended settings. My screen capture doesn't capture the cursor, nor does it capture the little drop down windows, so I took some screenshots. I'll show you those later in the video here. But you see the depth window now has see that blue? That's underexposed, and then the overexposure shows up as red. See that red? You saw the little red flash there. Some red in there, a little overexposure. You can tell by the brightness, of course, that it's overexposed. But I thought I'd just check out the tracking. The tracking seems to be improved. I just basically threw the little girl on there. This, by the way, is my little flower girl statue that was given to my wife when she was ill in the hospital some years ago, signed by all of her co-workers. And I had pledged to get this better as time goes on, as I do with other objects I've scanned. But the flower girl was particularly sentimental to me, and I wanted to capture her in her glory, so I'll continue with that. But it just impresses me how much they're doing with the software. See the overexposure there. But I thought I'd show you just flopping her around. I basically did this as quickly as I could, and of course the processing, the meshing and the fusing, all that stuff, I sped that up quite a bit, so you didn't have to sit through all that. But the tracking is incredibly snappy. Here I just let her sit on the turntable and did a manual swing around trying to catch that area between the bouquet and her face. It's really tough to get in there. But I'm impressed at how much better the eyes did this time on this scan. I've probably done 100 scans or more of this little girl. Just see the blue showing up. That's a really neat feature. That should eliminate a lot of problems people are having with how to set the depth gain. The depth gain being indicated here for over and under exposure allows you a lot more flexibility in setting it and know that you're in the range. I just, like I said, I basically left everything on auto here. I don't like to scan with the color set at auto though. I always put that at manual when I'm scanning. But you see that place between her face and the bouquet is hard to get. There's your non-textured version for people that like to see that. You can see it's got a pretty good surface, pretty good mesh. Well, it's not meshed yet, but pretty good cloud. There I put up the settings that I use. Those are kind of automatic. You see you don't get a selection of fill holes unless you go to manual. So I moved it to manual and used the recommended settings for denoise and mesh level. And there it is with the holes filled. Did a very good job filling the holes. Looks very nice. That's certainly printable right there. And then we're going to texture it. That's the RGB version there. Now we put it into texture and see what that does. I like the texture if I can, but you can see the uneven coloration there because of shadows and whatever. Like I say, I always I always make this disclaimer. I'm still working on my lighting. It's a continual process. But I have some ideas for cob lighting right on the pop itself, powered by the power bank. I just need to get a little bit of hardware together and I can build that. Design a reflector for the cob lights. And there you go, little flower girl textured. You see that raggedness there in the texturing. That's my lighting, I have no doubt. But that turned out really nice. This is not a bad scan at all for just a few minutes on a Tuesday afternoon here in the desert. Pretty little girl. Anyway, there you have it, the little flower girl. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.